What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Got a different one for you today. This one's a little bit different. This is something I've been honestly waiting for a while. I've been meaning to do this for a while is what I'm trying to say. But picture you driving your car, and whether it's a cruise or you just got done doing a pole or in the middle of a track event, whatever it is, and you out of nowhere start seeing smoke coming out the engine bay, and you freak out, you panic, you don't really know what to do, and then you're forced to watch your prized possession basically burn, and you can't basically do anything about it. You just sit there and are forced to watch it. That's been something that's been on my mind heavily. I don't know why, but lately I've been seeing a lot more cars recently just catching in flames, and before you know it, the car is nothing. So it's one thing to kind of as much money as I have in the engine bay here, this can be replaced. I mean, I got a spare engine literally right over there, so that can be replaced. But if I were to lose this chassis, I'd be pretty upset. So one thing that's been kind of weighing on me is just like, hey, what would happen if something were to catch fire? And unfortunately for us, this is kind of it's more likely to happen just because we mess around with the fuel pumps and the fueling, how much fuel we're adding, and the injectors and all this stuff. So it's more likely to happen to us than it would be for like a stock car like the M2. So I've been looking for a extinguisher. However, it's been kind of difficult for me just because the car doesn't have a cage at all. So I don't have anything to strap it down to. I don't want anything too heavy or too big or anything like that. So I've been able to find a solution, and I'll go ahead and take you guys inside and show you what we got in store. All right, guys, so here we have a package from Element. This is the company that I went with for this fire extinguisher. So I'll go ahead and start with the fire extinguisher itself. So believe it or not, guys, this is a fire extinguisher. And I know it looks crazy, but I did a little bit of research. There's pros and cons to this, and I'll kind of go over some of the things about this. So these are the types of fires that this extinguisher is basically good for. And as you can tell, it's type A, type B, type C, and type K. So type A is wood, coal, trash. Type B is flammable liquids, gases. Type C is electrical, and type K is cooking oil and grease. And as you can tell here, this is 80% smaller than your average extinguisher. I think this is a 5-pound, if I'm not mistaken. So some of the perks about this thing is obviously in size. This is better for individuals like myself. Like, we don't want any weight, us with cars and stuff like that. This isn't something that I would honestly use like inside a house. I would use the traditional kind of fire extinguisher, but because we're concerned about weight and size and all that stuff, I feel like this is suitable for a car or a project like the one I have. So this is a Element 50. So the 50 means that it's good for 50 seconds, where the average fire extinguisher, I want to say I read, only lasts up to 12 seconds. So you get 50 seconds of consecutive extinguishing, which is pretty cool in my opinion. And this is how you utilize it. Basically, you remove the cap up top, and then you pull the one off the bottom, and you use the one off the bottom to kind of ignite it, almost like a flare, and then you point it at the fire. So some pros, obviously I just stated some, size, one, so on and so forth. Some cons, from the little bit of research that I did, they utilize this, and wind has an effect on this. So if you're using this in a windy situation or place, this isn't exactly the best thing. I did notice that because of the type of extinguishing that this does, it's basically a gas. So it basically it utilizes gases. I'm not a scientist, but that's just what I read. Where a traditional fire extinguisher kind of submerges the fire. This doesn't do that. So, and then some other perks are leaves no residue, non-pressurized, non-corrosive, maintenance-free, so you don't need to check it every year like you do with a traditional one, and never needs recharging. So for those that don't know, if you were to utilize any type of extinguisher, as soon as you use it, that's it. You're supposed to use it all or nothing. So same principle with this. and more pictures and everything. This is pretty cool, man. I'm pretty excited. I haven't seen too many people do this especially for a car. Why I chose this for a car is because if the fire is happening, 9 times out of 10 is going to happen in the engine bay. It's an enclosed area, so you'll be able to have more control. So I'm not too worried about the wind. But this should be cool. And the second thing that I have, which is even cooler in my opinion, this is called the Bracketeer. And what this is a seat rail mount. And as you can tell from the picture right over here, this utilizes your brackets on your seat to basically secure this fire extinguisher. You can actually use it for traditional ones too. So tell me this is not cool. So we're gonna get this installed, and hopefully everything's good. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys, got the Bracketeer pretty much mounted up, and this is how it'll sit once it's on the car. So it does come with some instructions. They actually have some pretty decent videos as well. So it does come with some options. So you have multiple different ways that you can actually hook this up to your car. So this is pretty handy. So I'm not gonna go ahead and beat a dead horse. There's also some videos you can watch on it, but pretty much covers everything. So let's get this thing on the car. All right, guys, we are all done with the setup, and this is what it looks like. This is the configuration that I chose. So notice how I switched it up a little bit, and instead of how I had it originally, I went ahead and flipped it and then just utilized the bolts that hold onto the seat to kind of hold it on, and it's on there pretty good. You ain't moving this thing. So overall, pretty happy with the way it looks, at least. I'm not sponsored by these guys or anything like that. I'm not sponsored by anything, or anybody. So everything you see has been bought with my own money. It's just an option that I saw, and I typically don't make videos for little things like this. Like I stated, overall, it's under 200 bucks for everything. But I feel like this is a pretty important thing for us car enthusiasts to kind of have. So I kind of just wanted to share it out, because I was looking for a setup like this for a while and didn't even know this existed. So it's nice to know that. But overall, pretty easy install, nothing crazy, as you can tell. You could switch. So if you wanted to flip this over, flip these rails over and attach it to the seat rail right here, and then you utilize these little screws right here to kind of fasten it to the seat rail. But I don't want to do any damage to my seat rail, so I went with this. Plus I didn't want to have to mess around with this right here with the adjuster thing or anything. So this is just a cleaner and simpler option in my opinion. So I'll go ahead and sit down and show you how it looks in wide angle. All right, guys, here we are, wide angle. As you can tell, it looks closer than it is in real life. Well, it looks closer in the camera than it is. So honestly, this is with the seat all the way back, and I really don't think like it'll get in the way. So even if I pull the seat forward more, it's even less. So you won't even get to touch it or even notice that it's there. But this seat, for the most part, stays back like this. So I'll switch over to regular so you guys can see in real life what it actually looks like. All right, that's regular view right there. And notice that it's not in the way. I would have to honestly bring my feet all the way back. And as you can tell, I got plenty of space up there. So it's not in the way. And then you can also choose the configuration that you want as far as how far back you want it. So you can bring this thing all the way up if you feel like maybe you want to reach it and you want an easier kind of accessibility. But overall, man, I'm very happy with this. Like I stated before, this is something that I feel like everybody should know about. And you don't have to utilize this fire extinguisher. You can use this for a regular fire extinguisher for whatever reason you don't feel comfortable with this one. I do not know how well this actually works in a car fire. No, I will not test it, so don't even ask. Hopefully I never even have to use this thing. But like I stated before, it's nice to have. It's lightweight and all the other things that we talked about. So overall, man, pretty happy. And honestly, you can't put a price on peace of mind. It doesn't guarantee that, you know, I'll stop a fire, but at least I won't have to sit there and kind of watch my car burn the flames without trying to at least combat it. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. These little things, man, these little things make a difference. So overall, pretty much gonna take care of it for this one. Thanks for joining me on another journey with the Evo, and it's coming along, man. So that's gonna wrap it up for this one. Take it easy. I'm out. Peace.